And so with that, I can answer a couple questions.
Sheriff, you referenced communication hasn't happened to the degree that you needed.
Correct.
Are you in communication with the other stakeholders, with the RNC or with the mayor?
We are. I mean, and I've been in a lot of communication with the mayor the last several weeks related to this, not just the RNC, but the fact that we're having resource issues, we're having financial issues, the communication coming together between planning and security. All those things have been a concern for a couple of weeks. But again, Ken, at this point, we're inside of 40 days away. I mean, we should be fine-tuning this event, and we really don't have a solid plan as of yet.
So you've said you've been in contact with the mayor. Surely he's aware that you are making this announcement today.
Absolutely.
What is your expectation going forward? Is the convention going to be canceled in Jacksonville?
Well, look, that's not my call and not my job. So, we are tasked with obviously keeping the event safe, keeping our community safe during the event. I can tell you in this current configuration, I don't feel comfortable that we can do that. So again, I'm not the RNC planner. Somebody may have to come up with a plan, but this one's not going to work.
So they're going to have to make the call, but you are advising to them that this should not go forward.
This current configuration I have, I cannot work with. I cannot, in good conscience, say that we are ready to handle this.
And without breaking any confidences, what's the most serious? Is it that it's going to be in a facility, that it's going to be in the sports complex? What's the thing that you guys are most concerned about?
So the facilities, as you plan an event like this, these things move. I mean, that's to be expected to a certain extent. But when you talk about having the correct number of resources to be able to, address all the things that come with a convention, specifically protest outside of the perimeter, things that we know we will have to deal with, we've got to have the right equipment, we've got to have the right number of personnel to be able to handle that, and right now we don't have that. So, contractually, there's things we need to enter into contracts for to secure that we have them during the convention. We're not able to do that as of yet because of grant and financial concerns between DOJ and the city. So our hands are tied with some of the nuts and bolts of planning of the event, and we've just passed the point of no return.
Is it easier that it's now going to be in outside venues versus inside?
No, I mean that doesn't change the concerns that I have about the event. I think that's addressed for virus issues, but nothing that really concerns me.
So, Sheriff, are you recommending that the RNC be canceled in Jacksonville?
So again, what I'm recommending and what I'm saying here today is that the plan that, the bits and pieces of the plan that I have in front of me today is not something that I can support, that we can move forward with knowing that we can keep the event and our community safe. If you're asking me, will they come back with another plan? They may. But currently, in our current state, we can't support this.
What was your arrangement? In other words, you're saying it's not your call, but you're a member of the stakeholders at the table,
right,
discussing what's going to happen. What is your expectation then going forward with the RNC and the mayor's office and everybody else who will be the ones making the decision? What is your expectation? Say, no go, or we had to go back to the drawing table, or it's too late, we gave it our shot, this thing's done?
So, really right now the overarching concern is the timetable. So are we talking about scrapping the whole plan and trying to put something together within 40 days? I don't see that happening. I haven't seen it come together up to this point. I don't expect to see it come together after that. So again, the concerns I've had for the last 3 weeks, I have today. I'll have when I go home tonight, just like I have every night. I don't see answers. I don't see answers to these questions, and I don't know if they're going to come today. So.
And so, Sheriff, what has Mayor Curry, in your discussions with him, talking about this? What has his response been to you? Well,
listen, he understands the challenges, and we've had a lot of conversations about this over the last couple of weeks, and had multiple conversations today about this, and he understands my concerns.
And did he tell you he was going to take any action?
I don't know what action the mayor's going to take at this point, but I do know, again, we've been clear on our end about what our concerns are.
I guess the question I asked earlier too, maybe who will be taking action, and what is your expectation of that? Because you're basically saying it's a no-go, but you're, I guess, 1/3 of the decision, right? There's the RNC and there's the mayor's office and there's yours. You're on the table saying no-go. What is your expectation?
Well, look, I think there's a lot more than 3 parts of the decision making. That may be part of the challenge here. So, to be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know where we go from here. I just know what I have in front of me today is not going to work.
Well, what is it that would make it work for you when it comes to, you're saying the plan just doesn't have enough?
Right.
Is it about resources, the number of people, equipment? What of
All
those
of
things?
that. So that's the challenge. So do we need more resources? Sure, we do. And you may be able to find a solution for that. But again, financially, resources, equipment, things that we need to order, all of that stuff has just come to a head today to where we've been able to do none of it at this point. No locked-in commitments on paper with contracts signed, because we're not able to do that at this point. And again, with this current configuration, we've just passed the point of no
So
return.
Secret Service, FBI, other federal agencies, you don't know what they might be able to contribute or whether they might
Oh,
be able
no,
to
I
handle
do.
perimeters?
No, listen, our federal law enforcement partners and state law enforcement partners have been fantastic. I mean, we are all sort of dealing with the same challenge, though, in terms of, the information and the event and what is it going to look like. And so we've been working through that for weeks and weeks and weeks now. And again, I think the timetable at this point is what, we keep coming back to. We're inside of 40 days of a significant event, and, we just haven't made
And
any
you had
headway
how
in
long
weeks.
for Super Bowl? How long did you have to prepare for Super Bowl?
We planned for Super Bowl for 2 years, and typically for RNC, it's an 18-month planning cycle. So, look, we knew going in, no illusions about the timetable, but things had to be perfect, and they have not been.
And
not
that
even
was going to be
close.
my question. What's changed? Because obviously, this was a crunch time
Sure.
schedule no matter what. So what has changed in your view that has made this kind of, I won't say go off the rails, but has kept this train from going down the track that was already a tight schedule to begin with?
Yeah, I think maybe there was an impression that you could just plug and play what Charlotte had to Jacksonville, and that's not the case. And so you had to make some changes to the event. Obviously, you're in a completely different city, so there's a lot of things that you have to work on there. So again, you start from scratch, and so you start from scratch with 80 days. And maybe if things had gone perfectly, we'd have gotten there, but they didn't. I mean, from the very beginning, there's been challenges with communication, challenges with being able to, again, lock things in that you need to have. I need to know the things I need. I'd like to know today they're going to be here in a month. And as it stands right now, I have no idea. And
So, Sheriff, with what you're saying, if the RNC does decide to go forward in Jacksonville, what does that mean? Will JSO not be providing security?
No, listen, we're not taking our ball and going home. That's not the call here. But the plan in its current configuration is not working, and we need some significant movement to happen to have any kind of event. And again, I'm not the planner. Without knowing what that event would look like, I can't comment on that. But I will say, again, we've got to have what we need to be able to provide the safety and security, not only for the event but for our community. And keep in mind, that's my primary goal here is our community. Easy to build a giant fence and put somebody in the middle of it and keep them safe. We're concerned with what's happening outside the fence and dealing with the repercussions of that for who knows how long. And we need to be supported in that, or we can't move forward.
Sheriff, one of the things that the mayor heard early on this was, hey, taxpayers shouldn't have to pay for this, or will they? And the assurances have been, will be reimbursed, or that money will come anyway. You're saying that you can't take some of these steps, get more equipment or line of personnel or do contracts. No money is coming the way of JSO so far?
So not so far. I mean, so I know that there's conversations between the DOJ and the city. This is a grant format that pays for these, conventions. Some of it was spent by Charlotte. There's a chunk of that left to be able to be spent here, but for whatever reason, through bureaucracy or whatever reason it is, we don't have the ability to utilize it yet. And so, again, back to the timetable, I would not be as concerned if we were 6 months out. We're less than 40 days away, and I've pinned to paper on not one contract, not one piece of procurement. Nothing we need is en route, and we're just past the point of no return. Go ahead, John.
Okay, so Sheriff, you've been in contact with the mayor, you've had conversations, I'm sure you voiced your concerns, not just today, but going throughout this whole process.
Correct.
RNC, you've been in touch with them as well, Secret
Yes.
Service, everybody. So some might say this is, to come and make this announcement is a spur to either get something to change like instantaneously so we can still do this, or this is, you're really saying we're out. Is it either one of those, or, I mean, is there anything that could change at this point, I guess is really what I'm asking.
Yeah, listen, I can't predict the future. I can say this, though. As it stands here today, we can't support the plan moving forward as is. And again, there may be another plan come up tomorrow. We may not be able to support that either. I don't know. I haven't seen it. But I do know this, any plan requires resources and finances, and I don't have what I need at this point. So, again, I'm not the planner, so that they'll have to come up with something else. But at this point, it's gonna be a struggle to put something together.
I guess the other thing I'm thinking about here is, I would think if you were really calling off the convention, you'd
Right.
have the mayor and you'd have somebody, Black sitting next to you. Is
Yeah,
there a
and listen, let me
reason
be
not to
clear. I don't have the ability to call off the convention. That's not what this is about.
Right.
But I do have a responsibility to our community. And I want the community to know today, I don't have what I need to keep this event and our community is safe during those 3 days that we're working through this. And so, if you're asking me, is this a plea? These pleas have been made long before we did this today. And I haven't gotten what I need. And so this is more just, hey, here's where we are as a community. And, we'll see what happens after that.
Not to be the coach for the losing team before the game, but are you gonna basically try to tell the people, we're gonna do the best we can with this and try to not do something stupid? I mean, is that, this is coming, you gotta deal with it the best
Yeah.
you can, and you're gonna say what to the people right now?
So, to the community,
Yeah, to the
that
community.
in this current configuration, we can't support this plan. This is not gonna work. I don't have the resources, and we don't have the finances we need to execute the RNC as it's been laid out in front of us.
But your men and women will do the best they can, I would presume would be the next line, right? To tell the
Well, we
community?
always do. Oh,
Or should you
absolutely.
tell the
Yeah,
community
yeah,
to go hide
yeah.
in the basement?
So, no. So we have, there are meetings this afternoon related to RNC that we are still gonna be part of. Again, we're not taking our ball and going home, but we do need to wave the flag and kind of elevate the conversation to the point of, hey, we don't have what we need, and things are not all good, and we need to make some serious changes at this point. Yeah,
Is
John?
there, and I know I keep hammering this, and I'm sorry,
Right.
for all of us, I'm just trying to figure out, make sense of what this really means. So,
Sure.
is there like a point where you're sounding the alarm now, that's very clear to all of us in this room right now.
That's right.
Is there an expectation that, okay, I've sounded the alarm, now we're gonna go to these meetings this afternoon, and somebody else is gonna be like, okay, we need to rethink this completely? And if not, is there a point down the road where you will have to sound another more urgent or, is there, I mean?
Yeah, I think this is pretty urgent. I don't know if this is a,
Yeah.
I don't know if this is this the first alarm, I guess you're asking me? Listen.
I don't know what I'm asking.
I don't know that at this point, again, back to the timetable. If you're asking me, will somebody come forward and say, can we fix this? I don't know the answer to those questions of yet. All I know is where we are today. And where we are today is we can't support this plan. We don't have what we need to pull the RNC off at this point in its current configuration. Where do we go from here? It's a good question.
And Sheriff,
But
what
where
will
we
it-
are today, we can't support it.
What will it take to bring the RNC to Jacksonville safely at this point?
Listen, with this timetable, it's going to take a lot, and that's something that we would, we're continuing to work on as we speak. So I don't have a detailed answer for you on that right now.
So it doesn't sound like there's not you said you have 25% of the resources that you would like to have in place.
Sure.
But we've been told that it's not really about the money because the money's coming. So it's really not about the money not being available. It's really about as you mentioned, sort of the bureaucracy of being able to, no? I mean, what is
Yeah.
the dam? What is the holdup there with that?
So listen, there needs to be a commitment beyond words, I would guess, in terms of the finances, and that hasn't happened yet. And so, where does that happen? Why has it not happened? I don't know the answers to those questions. I know I just don't have what I need. And so,
Is that something that could still happen between now and then? Like, in other words, if all the money that you
again,
needed came in today.
we're 40 days away.
Yeah.
We're
All right.
40 days away.
I hear you now.
So, and these conversations, this is not something I woke up with this morning. Weeks we've been talking about this to people. And so it's just time to let the community know.
Thank you. And to be clear too, this isn't just COVID concerns, right? This is overall concerns. You mentioned protesting and other things.
Right.
I mean, this isn't just about spreading out people to make sure we're safe from COVID.
No, I mean, we haven't weighed into that part of the planning. I think the pandemic has impacted us in terms of the resources we've gotten from our other sheriffs around the state. But again, because they're battling with those issues in their own community, I think that's had an impact there of what they can provide us and what they can give to us. But beyond that, no. This is really just about the safety and security of the event.
So where do we go from here?
Good question. Hopefully we'll be having conversations in the days and weeks ahead, or the days ahead, and we'll come up with something. But again, you know, as we stand, or as we're here today, we don't have what we need for the current plan that's on the table. So there's got to be some major reworking or conversation to happen beyond this.
And are you meeting with Mayor Curry today or tomorrow?
So I've talked to the mayor several times today, so I'm sure we will. I mean, we don't have anything set at this point, but yeah, we talk about this on a regular basis.
Was he surprised to hear your position?
No, he was not.
And is he in support of your position?
Yeah, he understands it, so I'll say that. So you'll have to ask the mayor on you know, his support of the position, but this is not a surprise to the mayor. We've had this conversation to the mayor and all the staff for you know, a few weeks now, and again, he understands my position on it.
So what's clogging this up? Is it the decision-making process or the plan that they've come up with the RNC committee?
I think a lot of it is decision-making process, and I think it's you take an event that typically people are used to taking, you know, 18 months to a year to plan, and you cram it in 80 days. Again, if things don't go perfectly, you're not going to have the same type of event. But I think we all know there's a lot at stake at this event in terms of the safety of our city, and so that's what, again, is causing a lot of the concern. All right, thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it. Thank you.